Hello again. Conservationists have long known that when a large mammal is introduced into an ecosystem, you can expect chaos. That chaos is usually both financial and environmental. Questions arise to find a solution. That solution usually means control with the goal of eradication. My next guest is Francisco Charneca, a former sniper in the Portuguese forces. Nowadays, he is a wildlife artist now living in Brazil, where he is also a big game hunter. The question is the feral pig population in South America out of control? Francisco Charneca, welcome to the Practical Animal Channel.
Welcome.
What jobs are there working with wild boar?
First, I would say to you and for everybody that guns don't kill. People kill. Even cars kill. Planes kill. It's the man behind the gun who makes the death. The only issue is to be very careful handling guns. About professions related to wild boar, hunting is not a profession. We sometimes speak about professional hunter, but he's not a professional hunting. He's a professional guide of hunting. He's a tourist guide. That's one of those professions related to hunting, not only to the wild boar. The other one is the outfitter that makes everything be good to make possible hunting the wild boar or any kind of game. In Brazil, professions related to wild boar are two: the dog breeder that goes with their dogs to the country to find wild boars. We have also people who make knives we use to kill by hand with dogs the wild boar. And there are also taxidermists. In Europe, we have also professions related to profit the meat of the wild boar. In Europe, you have another profession related, that is the veterinarian, that makes the evaluation of the meat. In a country like Brazil, with a big problem of food deficit, remain the meat in the country and not profit, it's a crime for me. So I'm trying to make the politicians here to make a law that allows us to get the wild boars we get in the nature and send them to the veterinarian. You make the examine and allows to use the meat. The wild boar is foreign animal in Brazil and is a big ecological problem. We must make it be profitable. I found in Texan University, they have in Texas about 4,500,000 wild boars. They say to maintain the number in equilibrium, you must kill 2/3 by year. So the same problem we have in South America. As we don't kill that amount, it means that the species is growing and we don't know what is the impact it could make in the production of food, like Brazil is the responsible for about 1/5, 20% of all food produced in the world. We cannot allow the wild boar to take a lead, a big part of the production of food in Brazil.
What makes the wild boar a pest? It's an introduced species. What effect does it have on productive land, farming, ranching, or the natural ecosystem?
If you have 2 or 3 hectares of corn, you can have corn today and tomorrow nothing, because they came and destroyed. They don't only eat, but they destroy the production.
Do they have any effect on the natural environment in Brazil?
Yes, wild boars are omnivorous. If they find eggs, little birds, mammals, any kind of animal they found, they eat. And they eat everything. They destroy every spring because they need the water, because the wild boar needs to refresh them, and has the temperature is very high in Brazil. He tries to find where is growing from the ground the water, and they will destroy everything.
Why is it necessary to control wild boar?
Only mice is a bigger problem than wild boar. They are growing very fast. In Brazil, we had an ecological problem with the big cats, puma, onça pintada. They are getting lower because they don't have the base of his ecological pyramid. And when the wild boar entered in the ecosystem, that stage is completed. So the big cats returned. In states where there was no more wild cats, big cats, now the population is growing very fast.
Francisco, do wild boar have to be shot? Is that the best way to control them?
It's the only way.
What guns are best used to control introduced wild boar in Brazil?
Firearms, the caliber must be enough to make a destruction of the tissues that make a rapid death. The caliber more used in Europe is about 0.3, 300, 308, and the kind of bullets is soft point that makes a big mushroom that allows a big shock in the tissues that allows a rapid death. There is a little group of hunters who like to hunt with, I don't know the name,
Compound bows.
compound bows, and the other kind.
Crossbows.
Yes, crossbow. They use also shotguns. The shotgun is very effective, but you must be very near of the wild boar. And there is another problem. As the bullets
They can spread out.
spread, and they can get another hunter or even a dog.
What safety protocols should hunters use when hunting wild boar?
The first thing, you only take a gun to shoot. You don't need to have a bullet in the barrel if you are not shooting. So you have different situations hunting. You are alone. Okay, you can be with a bullet in the barrel. Even so, you get the safety button of your gun every time in position safe. We can turn it around only when you go to fire. In the other situation, I am trying to find the wild boar. Even if I am alone, I don't use ammunition in the barrel. And the safe button every time pressed. With no gun, with no ammunition, but always, every time pressed. When I see the animal, I make my preparation is also the time to make your mind preparation to make a shot. Okay, now I'll put inside ammunition. I press the button fire, make the aim and fire.
Francisco, to work with wild boar in any capacity, as a hunter, as a hunting outfitter, as a hunting tour guide, as a vet in a frigorifico, an abattoir, what skills does a person need?
Guns must be used with intelligence.
What is your view of wild boar management in Brazil today?
The bureaucrats in Brasilia want to fight an ecological problem with philosophy when not with measures. We must put the solution in the hands of hunters. We need to get samples of the wild boar blood to see if they have diseases. You must have the farmer, the state, and the hunter working together. The only way is hunting. The only way. The other ways, if you go to poison, do you know the impact? You poison the wild boar, the carnivores came and hit with got that meat and will die also, and that's a big environmental problem. We must not go in that way.
Is the wild boar population in Brazil already out of control?
Yes, it's out of control.
Francisco, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Everyone would be must try at least one time in his life to go hunting. I don't ask him to kill an animal. Go with a hunter. Try to understand what he thinks. Try to see why he is hunting. You will understand that hunting is something that became from the ancient times related with religion. So, kill is not the issue, is getting something from the nature that someone likes to think like a goddess, but the God, the creator, has made all nature for us to use with intelligence, not to destroy, but to use.
Francisco, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you. It's been a real insight into the problem of a large introduced mammal and the effect it can have on the rural economy and on the ecosystem. That is the wild boar in Brazil. Sculptor and wildlife artist Francisco Charneca, thank you very much for being on the Practical Animal Channel.
Thank you. Bye-bye, John.
Francisco, the wild boar is an introduced pest in Brazil. How do you see its management changing over the next 10 years?
It would be worse. The only way to destroy wild boar is destroy all his ambience. We must destroy the place where they got their protection. But if you do that, you cannot produce corn, you cannot produce sugar, you cannot have forests, you cannot have anything. You know that sound of crying we heard from Europe about the burning forest in Brazil. They don't know we have 2/3 of nature preserved, equal it was 500 years ago when Portuguese came here for the first time. 2/3. And the other third, a lot of space is a little space is agriculture, and a part of them is production of cattle. And with so small area, they feed one in 5 dishes of food, one is Brazilian.